Fine.
All right, let's make this really simple. I'm going to ask you some simple and fair questions. And we're going to see if you go to plan B to abort the conversation. Do you like Jesus?
Yeah.
Okay. Was Jesus who he claimed to be?
Is it consistent with Tanakh? The scripture he would have
Was Jesus who he claimed to be?
Is it consistent with what would
Who is Jesus? One more time. We'll try the question again. Notice the plan B to abort the conversation, folks. Now, here's the question I'll ask a third time.
Okay.
Was Jesus who he claimed to be?
Based on whose account?
Was he
Okay, we're going to try a fourth time. Now, if we get to the sixth time, if I get up to, don't overtalk me, smartass. Now, if I get up to a sixth time and you don't answer the question, you'll be ejected from the room. Okay? Now, we'll try a fourth time. Was Jesus whom he claimed to be?
Did he write any texts?
Okay. Okay. A fifth time. Was Jesus who he claimed to be?
Just say yes or no.
Come on. You did the same
thing. I like how you're aborting the conversation.
Okay, hold on. Everyone be quiet. This is the sixth time I will ask the question.
You're aborting the conversation, though.
Was Jesus who he claimed to be?
The Son of God?
Sixth time waiting.
The Son of God?
Ego Imi, John 8. Was he Ego Imi?
He's gone.
Yeah, he gave me.
Wait a minute. I gave him ample warning. Yeah. I told him, I will ask you the question 6 times. I am now asking the question for the 4th time. If I get up to the 6th time and you refuse to answer the question, you will be ejected from the room.
Yeah.
So now you know what you're dealing with here. What you are dealing here with is somebody who is just simply trying to throw out an accusation that Paul misquoted the scripture. And it was Chris who very brilliantly pointed out there are any number of passages where this could have come from, okay? And where many times they will conjoin one verse from one passage and another verse from another passage, and they will be presented both as saying, and the scripture says.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, there's nothing wrong or unethical. And in fact, we do this in our modern day life all the time. People will quote Ronald Reagan of when he made one quotation one time in one location and quoted in another. And so there's one, I forget where it is. I think it's in the beginning of Matthew, where it attributes, it says, as it was spoken by the prophet.
Yeah.
Okay. And yet we don't have the prophet having written that quotation. I think it was Zechariah. But the fact of the matter is, it doesn't have to be written down when he says it was spoken of. He could have spoken it without having it written in the book attributed to him. See, this guy's he's not interested in an actual question. We're going, this troubles me here. If he was taking that avenue, we wouldn't be pulling teeth with him.
Yeah.
Was he an atheist, a Jew, or just a troll?
Sound like a Jew. Totally rejected the New Testament.
He was. Listen, I jumped into the conversation. I asked him point blank.
I said this contradicts Tanakh.
Was Jesus who he claimed to be? He refused to answer the question. And I was listening, and when you're dealing with him, he's a little devious, little deceptive, little weasel.
Now, he didn't point out one example, not one, where Paul actually misquoted the Tanakh. Not one.
Mm-hmm. Well, we cited it, and he called him out on it. That Paul citing multiple texts. He's texting me now.
Well, not only that, but he had a way better verse to go to if he wanted to try to make a point. He could have went to Luke, and it's in Luke 4:18 through 19, where Jesus was reading from a scroll, and Luke records it a little different than the original or the Hebrew, just simply because Luke would have quoted from the Septuagint. So it's not a huge deal. It's not a I don't know what
It's not radically different.
No, it's not radically. There's a couple of things. There's one line that's different from the original Hebrew, and then there's another line that Luke includes. It's not included in the Septuagint. But Anyway, it's not a big deal. We just realized that the apostles were using a translation that they considered to be the Word of God. So we can too consider our translations to be the Word of God.
used it.
You said that he could have used a better verse. You know, when we're having conversations with these people, sometimes I almost feel sorry for them. I feel like we gotta give them ammunition sometimes just to make it fair.
Well, it wasn't that he was just a hack. The point is he was deliberately being obfuscatory. If I said that correctly, he was engaging in obfuscation, evasion. He wasn't looking to have an honest, vigorous debate with you, Matt.
No. Well, once pressed to the hill, he went, "Oh, or look into this," which is obvious. He hasn't studied it. On numerous facets. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't. You know, the Septuagint was written 300 years before Christ. For at least 2 centuries, it would have been what most Jews would have read. I mean, because most of them probably didn't even understand Hebrew.
Right.
So I mean, it was their Bible.
Yeah.
Unless you're one that believes the story that Origen came up with the Septuagint.
Right.
Yeah, he's just complaining to me anyway. I said I'll have a private conversation with you. We need to do it on.
Hey, did I not tell him? Did I not tell him that if I ask the question a 6th time and you refuse to answer it, you'll be ejected from the room?
Yeah,
he was given 3 opportunities after I warned him to answer the question the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th time. Okay, after he got 3 strikes and he was out.
You notice how snarky he was being in between those.
Oh, super snarky.
Yeah. So did you only kick him or did you ban him?
I just kicked him. I didn't ban him.
Right. Yeah, I said if you come back, we'll have a discussion. Do it publicly, or we'll do it privately. But I'd rather do it publicly. So yeah, you want to make it fool of yourself, do it publicly. No, he's getting pwned left, right, and center. That's not an arrogant thing. It's just he just wasn't. I'm just going to say, okay, what's your logical argument here? You go, well, I just read the verse here, and I go, when I go back through context, it's just not fully what he said. I go, oh, so he's not citing from other things?
Surface level arguments with no kind of thought put behind it.
It's like, come on, you got to man up and do something better than that.
I completely thought he lost credibility when he started talking about Jesus might have possibly did something in error, either through lack of information or he might have misquoted or not or something. When he started making those claims about Jesus, that's when he just lost me entirely.
Yeah. That's when I thought he was a Jew.
As long as the guy didn't have a voice. The guy was debating round and round. It's just the same old. He doesn't like yes or no answers. The guy absolutely hates them. But that's where I can at least hold you to something and then move on from there. But if you're not committal on things, like, what am I doing talking to you? It may be this, maybe that, blah, blah, blah. We can speculate all we want, and it's just a whole argument from speculation. If you're making a cogent argument, what do you commit to? Exactly. And he goes, oh, I like this Boolean logic, or yes or no, or like, it's either this or that. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, man, I mean, yeah, why have any dialogues if people going, yeah, this could be the case, that could be the case, blah, 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 and you're not arguing for anything, you're just being, we're just laying out, there's a lot of possibilities out there. Don't really hold one, but hey, there's a lot of possibilities out there. I'm not like middle of anything.
And that's the biggest problem we have with most of these people who don't want to engage honestly. What they want to do is they want to make the conversation super vague and remain in these gray areas just to try to skirt around.
Yeah, they don't. They don't want to commit to anything.
Yeah, when I asked him flat out, and I had to mute him. The only time I did mute him, I didn't kick him, but I was at the point there. I said, "Look, you're just being evasive. Like I just asked you, were they in error in quoting the Greek Septuagint? Did they have? Were they in error?
And, like making broad statements. They don't.
Oh,
no,
frustrating. You have a limit, and we're not being mean. It's like he had plenty of time. Thanks for your contribution, but let's visit.
6 chances from the owner of the room.
Yeah, so he's being very gracious to him.
Boolean logic. What did he mean by that, Matt? Or Boolean?
I think he's describing that to yes or no.
Oh.
Just being definitive. You got to be committal.
Hey, can you guys hear me okay?
Called Booleans.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I told you Booleans are dangerous because then I'm subscribing to someone else's sweeping parameters. But me trying to define those parameters by clarifying as the son of God gets me kicked, intellectually dishonest to be completely fair. Oh, look, I just asked if he's ego-I me, man. Is that true what Jesus said or not?
Wasn't there someone in here that wanted to debate Matt about something?
Yeah, someone else. Is he still in here?
No, he left.
Yeah.
Hey, Pepe, could you get him back in here?
What's his name? Gay Negro?
Yeah, I saw him. He got muted by somebody, I think. That was his name, probably.
That sounds like a troll.
Yeah, we're in the middle of the conversation.
I know who he is. I think he was serious about debating. I can try to get him back in here.
Yeah, he just changed his name. I forget what it was.
Yeah, I can get him back in here, I think.
Yeah, if you can, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Office Space. That would be great.
That was great.
Yeah, if he comes back online, I'll let you guys know.
Something you're quoting from Office Space. Yeah, if you do that, that'd be great. I'll debate anyone.
Wants to debate?
Yeah, his preview. He just changed his name. It was Back Night.
Okay.
He just changed it. His name is Back Night 03.
Yeah.
I have no idea who he is.
Back 03.
Back Night 03. BAKNIGHT.
Yeah, he's back online. I'm just telling him to change his
You
name.
can change your name, but you can't change your ID number.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you get an entirely different account, right?
Well, that's true.
In Nitro, doesn't Nitro allow you to like change your number or something, or get your own?
Well, then what's the purpose of having the number then?
That's what I'm saying, man. Oh, that's the incentive. Okay.
Well, you can always, if you want, you can copy somebody's user ID.
I'll let this guy know he was only kicked. He thought he was banned.
If you put like a notation in their account, you could like put the previous name and number, and if they change it, you'll know.
Well, that's what I did.
Okay.
I think Matt Slick probably would have given him a good stumping because Matt is pretty knowledgeable about Mormonism as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think stumping is a word that should ever be used to describe the conclusion to an argument.
It's called self-stultification. That's what it's called.
Oh, that's a good one, Matt. They're not going to. Yeah, self-stultification. That's one most people aren't going to know.
How about that, Mordecai?
Well, you're the first person to pronounce it.
They pigeonholed themselves in that corner. And Doc, there you go.
Congratulations for being the first person to get the name right.
Okay. Problem. How you doing, man?
Well, I've been calling you Mordecai.
I didn't notice.
Yeah, Toadlock has. Well, supposedly you were kicked nights prior, but I never engaged you. But the other guy.
I didn't get kicked. I just got muted because I
muted. All right, that's
fine. Or whatever.
Well, if you're
you got muted for bad behavior. You're being an obnoxious teenager.
Yeah, you were the dude who was talking about that God is somehow bad or it's somehow his fault if God foreknows things like evil and whatnot, He sets those events into motion.
Yeah, you weren't muted for debating. You muted for being argumentative. I immediately put a notation down in your account.
In an evasive fashion, because I think if I talked to you last night, you had a different user, right? We were discussing God's foreordination, regarding setting up the Garden of Eden, and he knew man was going to fall, and why was he angry for man falling,
Yeah,
right?
I changed my username.
Okay, I understand. All right, but that was the argument, right?
Yours is mic pretty low.
My mic is garbage.
Yeah.
So,
About it.
So I'll put you up there.
so your claim was that God can't get angry if he foreknows events and set them into motion, given his
I'm not saying
omniscience.
you can't get angry. I'm saying
It would make
doesn't
him angry?
logical sense to get angry at something you knew was going to happen.
Okay. What's
What's the logical contradiction?
It's not a contradiction so much as it is just a logical failure.
What do you mean it's a
Do
logical
you think people only get angry because they don't have an expectation of bad behavior?
No,
How many parents know that when they raise children,
there you go.
that at some point their children are going to behave badly and be disobedient? They know ahead of time their children will be disobedient. So is it illogical for them to get angry when they foreknow that their children will be rebellious? How is that illogical?
To happen.
What?
Yeah. So why is it illogical?
Didn't do anything to prevent it.
What law of logic?
No. You see, you're thinking like the teenager that you are. The fact that do something to prevent it. What you're talking about are the free acts of an agent.
Yep.
Okay. Now there are some free acts that God can and does choose not to permit through his sovereignty and ordination.
Right.
Right. Because he has a plan for human history. But the fact that if I foreknow and that my children will behave badly, and I choose not to do anything to prevent it, there's nothing illogical about it. You may consider that recalcitrant, you may consider that immoral, you may consider that negligent or bad parenting, but there's no illogic, there's no contradiction entailed. If something is illogical, there's a contradiction,
or violates law of logic. So
yeah,
which law of logic does it violate?
What's the contradiction?
Well, I guess then let me rephrase that then. It just doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Right. So when you say something doesn't make sense, certain things do not conform to your notion of the nature of reality. Is that correct?
Nature of reality thing again.
No, Ed, but you see, it is a relevant question. If a certain assertion doesn't make sense, it means that it's inconsistent with what I know to be.
With your paradigm.
Look. Suppose there's a homicide in a factory, right? And everybody has an alibi except for one person, and what he says doesn't make sense because it comes into it doesn't square with the testimony of other people. You say, well, what he says and where he was at the time of the homicide doesn't make sense given the testimony of other people in their times and locations. So when you say something doesn't make sense, either you say, I don't understand it, or you're saying that there's an incoherency because it doesn't cohere and conform to something that is the case. Is that what you mean?
I don't know, and I'm not going to have this argument with you.
Okay. All right. Well, no, that's not an argument. It's a question. If something doesn't make sense to you, does that mean you just don't understand it?
I suppose it could. It could mean a bunch of different things.
Well, just because you don't understand something does not mean a particular situation is not actual. There are many things that Down syndrome children do not understand about the nature of technology. It doesn't make sense to them. But those situations are still actual.
Right.
So when you say it doesn't make sense, or you say it's incoherent, either you don't understand what it means, or what you're saying is it entails a contradiction. So many people say, "Oh, well, the Trinity is not true." Well, why? Because it doesn't make sense. Oh, so God is not triune because you can't conceive about how God can have equal ultimacy in terms of his threeness and oneness? That's not a defeater. I'll be back.
All right.
Yeah, I've just learned to, like, when Dawkins goes off on one of his speeches, to just, like, not play into it and just try and be like, yep.
What do you mean not play into it? Because you don't want to address straightforward questions.
Straightforward questions that are specifically designed to follow his script. Yeah.
No.
Wait, hold on. No, hold on. Follow a script. Do you not have a script yourself?
I don't need one.
Oh, okay. Let's try this. It is your script to say that he asks questions in which he has a script. Isn't that your script?
I'm just saying what I think.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You'll state it all the time, dude. You got your presuppositions. You're going to state from every single time. That's your script.
What's wrong with the script anyway? Why not just debunk the content of the script if there is?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, even if there is. So what?
With Dawkins is that he tries to say either you believe this or you believe that, and he tries to make this little binary that you can't squeeze out of. And if you refuse to play into that binary, he'll mute you for not answering his little binary.
Well,
there is ultimately a binary.
Maybe you shouldn't argue with him then.
Just avoid him.
Because, aren't you the opposing side against
his
side?
Censors mine, and mine doesn't.
Is it not binary? No, he's asking you to be consistent from your world, but you don't put forth anything.
Mordecai, think of a binary question and ask me it. Any question you can think of.
Yes or no? Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a bigger number, 0 or 1? There you go.
1. See, I can answer binary questions that are true binaries. So when it's a true binary, why is that a bad thing?
It doesn't give you time to question whether or not it is a binary.
You know what he's ultimately arguing for, Mordecai.
So you're saying that when he asks you binary questions, what you're essentially saying is that they're false dichotomies and they can't be answered in this or that.
Are because you don't have time to question it. He just goes, "Give me an answer. Give me an answer."
Well, Mordecai, if they are a false, then you should be very quick if you know what the third option is.
Well, I don't know what the third option is right off the bat because I don't have a script that I'm reading off.
Then how can you prove that it's a false dichotomy if you don't know what the third category is? No, you have plenty of time because he gives multiple. He does.
Plenty of time to think.
Plenty.
You'd be thinking right now.
If something's a false
dichotomy brought up to you, which is false.
If something's a false dichotomy, how does it take you 3 or 4 seconds to perceive that it's a false dichotomy?
You should point it out exacto, like bam, it's right there. You know it, right? Don't you know it? If you're gonna flat out call someone for lying, that's a false dichotomy. Great, you tell me right now. What is it? Or give an example that he brought up was a false dichotomy. You know the third. What is it? So you're not going to defend yourself. Exactly right.
No,
I got one. Yeah.
He's not going to have this argument with us because with him we're just putting forth the script, right?
Yeah. That's his script. It's like, yeah, you push a dichotomy. I'm going to say it's false, but I can't give a third option, and then you mute me, and I go, oh well, I couldn't give my third option. What is? I don't know.
Like, you get questions.
What was the illustration of that? I don't know what the illustration was either. You know.
And you've done this more than once, so I'm just going to conclude that's your script, sir. But we can play this game back at you.
People just be
You're not being honest right now.
Verbose, and they think that they have like some solution. It's like what?
Yeah, it's a solution I don't know of. You know.
we're right back to the situation where the atheists are too used to being in environments where they have the upper hand against Christians who are not really knowledgeable about philosophy or even their own faith. So they
have no idea. Yeah.
They can pigeonhole a lot of Christians that are in the streets that don't really practice these things that we're doing in this room.
Right.
As to us, you know, all of a sudden they want to play the victim card.
Yeah, that's all you're really doing, Mordecai, is you're playing the victim. You haven't actually pointed out any problem with how we're interacting with you at all.
To say that to some of my family members, stop playing the victim card when it comes to politics.
Right. Yeah. Anyone can do that. Whether you man up and go, you know what? I really didn't proffer the third option. I wasn't.
I'm going to explain something to you, dude. The bottom line is, if you honestly believe that have been treated unfairly in here, then you don't have to be here. Nobody's putting a gun to your head and telling you to come over here. So let me ask you a straightforward question. Do you believe you've been treated unfairly here?
On what basis?
On the basis that if you don't answer one of DarthDawkins' questions, he will mute you.
Are not his points directly...
if you engage,
hold on, dude. Well, hold on, man. None of us muted you, and you said, I don't want to play this game. None of us did that. You still said the same thing. So what's your excuse now?
If you don't want to play the dichotomy game, when dichotomies are thrown out at you...
Okay? I'm shit-talking him because he's the one who does it.
How? By bringing up dichotomies to you? Which you think are false, but you can't call them out on a false dichotomy.
That's my issue with him.
Yeah, it gives you multiple times before it mutes you.
But the problem is, none of us did that to you, and you had the exact same reaction. So what is your excuse now?
I'm talking about him.
No, you're not getting the point. The point is, you had the exact same reaction regardless of whether somebody muted you or not. And if you have that exact same reaction, regardless of if someone muted you or not, then you might want to take a look in the mirror instead of pointing fingers elsewhere. That's the point.
Mordecai, is it not, or is it not the case that Darth has given you multiple chances to answer before subsequent mutation? I mean, muting you. It's not muted on the first thing. You dodge a question. He goes, hold on. You're dodging. Now answer the question. And it's after 3 or 4 times.
A question with a fact that kind of destroys your question. The fact that he muted me for pointing out the fact that Leviticus is in both testaments. You guys remember that?
What? What text?
That's not true.
What is cited? That Jesus was citing from Leviticus when he said, "Greatest commandment is to love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, and soul. Love your neighbor as yourself." That's taken out of Leviticus. I mean, that's not an issue.
No, what happened? Okay. What happened is me and him were arguing. It was about. My point was that the Bible has a bunch of different points where it justifies killing people. So he told me to bring up.
Yeah, of course.
Which people?
Well, we were just. I was just arguing the point that it tells you to kill people, like in general.
Do you know what killing is and what murder is? Do you know what killing is and murder?
I'm not talking about murder. I'm talking about killing. Okay.
What's the difference between killing and murder?
Murder is unjustified, and killing isn't not necessarily.
It is justified, right?
Right.
Killing is the justified taking a life. Murder is the unjustified taking a life. Unlawful.
He asked me to bring up
just go
point in the Bible, in the New Testament, or no. So my point was, he asked me to bring up a verse from the Bible that justifies killing people, like at all. So I said, okay, Leviticus 20:13. And then he said, okay, no, that's Old Testament, New Testament. So I said, yeah, Leviticus 20:13.
In that context, it was justified. Leviticus 20 what?
13, basically the part that says stone the fags.
2013? How the man who lies with a man who lies with a... Or as a man, both of them have committed the detestable act. They shall surely That's under the theocracy of Israel, right?
Yeah.
Is that quoted? Is that
Yeah,
quoted
it
in
is.
the New Testament?
Absolutely not.
Where?
Why would it-
Okay, where is it? No, hold on. Not Leviticus. That verse.
Hey, Vecco, brother, your volume's kind of loud, man.
Mordecai, can you show me in the New Testament where that verse is quoted in the New Testament?
I'll just turn you down some. Hold on.
Mordecai. There's multiple verses from Leviticus that are quoted in the New Testament, right? You specifically went to that verse and said, that's in the New Testament. That's a false statement.
Yes.
Right? Because can you quote me chapter and verse where that verse is quoted?
There isn't.
In entirety? No, it's not quoted in its entirety. That's a statement.
Where is it?
Where is it? Show us.